To Emuna is our future with the final song. A big class, a lot of preparation is going into these special weekly Emuna classes. Not only is the preparation part of my own personal insight and growth as a person, but it's also together with the weekly class with Rav Shalom Arush, we have the ability to feel the energy of a new week every week together with Rav Arush in this studio, thank God, in Yerushalayim. We're here, thank God, with the YouTube and the Facebook Live, with the website. We're hoping Breslov.com is going to get fixed. We're getting it sorted out with Azaz to Gedusha. We're not holding back any restraints right now because we've been going through a time of constriction, a time of difficulty. We've going out of that place. It's called Yetzias Mitzrayim. This is the famous time of going out of Egypt, away from all our restraints. Mitzrayim is the idea of Meitza Yam. It's a place of restriction, a place of limitation, a place of rules that are not for our benefit, but rather to hold us back to fulfill what we are here in this world to do. And we have to fight back with all our strength and all our resolve, all our soul, to be energized, thank God, and to do our personal mission of what Hashem Yisbarach, our Creator, put us in this world for. The final song is something we are preparing for weekly, or even daily, or even every moment. It's something we have to constantly develop, a desire to hear this special song, as it's brought down in the Midrashim, that there are 10 songs, just like there are 10 different levels of revelation that are taking place throughout history. It's a very deep concept, but the Midrash brings there's 10 songs. And the song Al-Asid, the song of the future, the final song, will be the song we'll sing when Mashiach comes. Like every week in Shul, we have a little preparation on Friday night when we sing Lecha Dodi and we get ready with Kabbalah Shabbat. Kabbalah Shabbat is a time where we can tune in when we're receiving, where Kabbalah is the idea of receiving, of internalizing and bringing inside ourselves the Shabbat. As we say, Penei Shabbos Nikabala, that we should, the Penei, the face of Shabbos should be received upon us, that we should be able to have the Shabbos Kala, the bride, the Malchus, the Gedusha, the holiness of Shabbos. And this is something we have to prepare for every week. Just like historically, in the 6,000 years of creation, we are preparing for the Yemosa Mashiach, for the days of the Messiah, where the world will come to a unification, a united souls experience, a oneness. This revelation that we're preparing for is already, thank God, thanks to the teachings of the Baal Shem Tov and all the Tzaddikim, we know by the Arizal and Shem Yochai, there's this Or Chozer, there's this light coming already from the Yemosa Mashiach, from the inner light, from the light of the soul, that's already beginning to shine right now in this time. Rabbi Nachum was Megala, that the way we're going to feel it and experience it is through the Eitzah of his Spodidus, through many Eitzahs, through mikveh. This is from his Zaydah, from his great-grandfather, the Baal Shem Tov HaKodesh, the idea of mikveh, and already all the way back to the Arizal, the idea of simcha, of joy, and all the way back to Rabbi Shimon Yochai and Rabbi Akiva through Mesiras Nefesh, and Avos Hashem, Avos HaTorah, Avos Yisrael. This is the kind of energy, Basari, Libi, with our heart of flesh, we should praise Hashem and we should prepare on a weekly level how to get ready for Shabbat, and on a daily level how to get ready to meet our Creator every time we go to sleep. And we should realize that we're preparing for this final song. There's a purpose. And how do we see in this week's Parsha? Right now, we're Parshas B'Shalach. We are in Shabbat Shira. This is the energy of this week. And the Shabbat has a special, the Shabbos has a special light of Shira, of song, a time to sing as we get ready for Parshas B'Shalach, for the Az Yosheh, the song La'aseh, the song we're waiting to sing. We have to have a desire, as Shalom Arush, our host, talks about many times, developing a rotzen, a will. This is a quite deep idea, and this week we're going into it together. It's not something I can sing by myself. It's not something I can just want as an individual, even though that's definitely praiseworthy and something we should all do, should constantly work on ourselves. But we have to realize that it's something that's requiring the whole of the people. All the people need to sing this song. And a nation. We're not by ourselves. We have to realize that we have to seek a path, as Rav was talking about beautifully yesterday in our Emuna journey class with Yoni Gabali. We had a wonderful class where the Rav taught us about how important it is, and he has it in his siddur, written down in his prayer book. Hashivenu, it's we have to return. Everything is plural. Everything is about how we can mo'ira b'shem kol Yisrael, the Kehilas Yisrael, the awakening the souls of the Jewish people in the world. To love all people is to love all of the souls of the Jewish people in the world. That this concept that Rav was mentioning yesterday, and I want to make an addition if I merit to make an addition to anything the Rav says. He mentioned that every time you're praying, and you're praying for the love and devotion as we're asking you in our campaign, and we're hopefully getting all your names and giving them to the Rav. And please God, we're adding more and more prayer in the world for the people of Israel. But I want to add also for the people of the world. Now, so not only are you praying for the 50 million or more Jews in the world, but also praying for all the souls of the world. Because every single soul is connected to the Jewish people. We're all really united in one soul experience. The soul of Adam, the soul of Adam, is really united with all the souls of the world. And we're praying for all the people of the world, because to come to the true tikkun, the olam tikkun, to come to completion, to the ultimate unification, it takes the whole world to come to reveal what Hashem's messages, even though specifically on an individual level we have to do that. And as we know from the Torah Kedosha that Hashem did choose the nation of Israel, we have to see it. It's in plain writing, and we have a specific mission. That's what that choice means. We have a specific mission, but the world also has its mission. And they were also chosen for specific tasks. And everyone in the world has to know their own personal mission and their own mission as a nation. Even though the nations were mixed up, like it's hard to know exactly what your root level nation is, but each person can know from themselves, from the heart level, what their purpose, what their mission, their specific mission is, and it's something worth thinking about. So we can get ready to sing this final song, because you can't have a full song without everybody knowing their part in the song. As you have an orchestra, everyone has their position in the band. Everyone has their position in the musical. Everyone has their position in how the show should climax. There can't just be a complete balagan. It can't just be chaos. Everything has a purpose and a place and a time and a note that they need to sing, and a specific way that song and that harmony will be brought about. And each person has to learn their note, their letter in the Torah, their chelik, their portion. I was just listening to a shir from Rav Olosky with the Waterbury Boys, yeah? I don't know if you guys have heard the Waterbury Boys. Remember, I want to hear your feedback. This is a global class. I'm not sitting here by myself, thank God. We have the live feed, and I like to hear what people are saying. We read it out in front of the Rav. We read it out in our weekly Emuna class, and that class, thank God, should go global as well. And this class should go global. I need to feel that you guys are listening in. Don't just listen. Don't just watch. Don't just pass through. Contribute. As I'm saying, each person has their notes, has their message. Believe in yourself enough to contribute on these classes. I want to hear what you're saying. I want to feel the love and the energy, because it's not a path I want to go down myself. I'm right now pushing the staff here to get our classes up better, to have them up on the sites, to get the sites fixed, to get everything working so everything's fluid. The traffic is moving. If you go to the website, you can get back to the Facebook, the YouTube. Everything should be connected. It's a, thank God, a global network we're building with Emuna in our Breslov Israel, Facebook, our Breslov Israel, YouTube, our Breslov Israel, TikTok, our Breslov Israel, Twitter account, our Breslov Israel, WhatsApp. You can join it all and follow and subscribe. Make each platform grow. Right now we have, thank God, uploaded already the edited version onto the podcast. I also put it on our Unity Flow podcast. Thank you. We already got Mary reaching out there on YouTube. That's the idea. I want to feel the love. That I know that I'm a nation. I'm part of something bigger than myself. And it's not enough for me to just sit in this wonderful studio in the holiest place in the world, in Yerushalayim, and have the connection to a holy Rav, and have wonderful guests like Yoni Gabali and Aaron Lagman and Jacob Brown, the people that came last night, and they elevated. It was actually yesterday day we recorded it, but it went live last night in Israel time, and we were able to get it out there. And it only went to hundreds of people, not to thousands. And it really should go to thousands, because the content is so important. What the Rav teaches and the music, it was in French, but the music, the soul of the music was universal. You could feel the energy, the uplifting vibe. And Baruch Hashem, we have opportunities on a weekly level to really connect and grow and develop these ideas, to understand that this 10th song that we're going to sing, because remember, everything has to come to some level of completion of 10. 10 is the number of the, as we already learned, the Esamachas, the 10 plagues. I've put down below my 10 habits of truly effective people based on the 10 commandments, on the 10 spheres, Elyonim, these 10 divine emanations that come down and influence the actions of humanity so that we can have a dwelling of God in this world. And that's something which is really important. All of us together can build that dwelling of God, that godliness, that the divine presence can dwell in ourselves and in our home, as Rabbi pointed out. It's not enough. Rabbi Jacobson mentioned that it should just be an outside thing. It should be something within. And with another Rabbi that came to my mind was Rabbi Rubinstein. He left the BBC. Why? Because why should he be part of and join onto an organization that's putting out some anti-Semitic statements day after day, or even supporting anti-Semitic groups? We need to realize that there's a level of soul that gets past all these divisions. We have to go down the path of unity. I was very happy to see the impact that Joe Rogan's making now globally, because he's someone which I feel has a unity vibe. He's all about joining with people and collaborating, all the people he brings on, and he's become, thank God, the most successful podcast. It'd be an opportunity for us to be able to impact someone like Joe Rogan, to join with someone like that, to get the unity message out there. But even if we're not able to directly influence him directly, on a spiritual level, we're all influencing the vibrations, the hashpah, the divine influence. On a soul level, we are ultimately all united. So whether you listen to this class or not, I know by saying these words, and by talking to Hashem Yisparach, and by talking to the souls of the world, I know I'm having an influence on a spiritual level. And then when we sing, singing is a whole nother level. It's that bridge, as we mentioned here, to the spiritual realm and bringing it down where you feel the elevation. It bridges the physical to the spiritual. And that's the power of music. It opens ourselves up. And that was Robolowski's class. The boys, the Waterbury boys, were saying how important music is to them and how much they need it. And each person needs his own chelik, his own portion, his own unique mission, how they can mashpia. I was saying to someone today who's, thank God, an influence in his own way through Torah and wonderful photography. I was saying he has to combine those two, the idea of the visual. He has an unbelievable mind to bring out new ideas, but he needs to put it together with his talent, with photography and media, that it should come out in a visual format. That it's so sad when you have someone out there who's told that they shouldn't use their strength because of some religious extremism or some other reason. Like right now with Corona, people are not able to get around, or people are scared and is limiting themselves. That limitation is not the path we want to go down. We want to go down the path of freedom, cheres amiti, of true freedom. And that true freedom comes, and I'm not just talking politically, I'm not talking about we should have political freedoms and we should be allowed our liberty to be able to function and move around as we need, to be able to do our purpose in the world. But there should also be the idea that mentally and emotionally, on a real level, that we're free, that we have a power to impact in this world, no matter what. Even if physically around us are limitations, we're still impacting and doing our purpose. Because thank God, Hashem, as he brought these limitations of Corona, and this new sort of form of it, whatever that is, that came at the same time, the parshas of Shovivim, these 6, 7, 8 parshas where we're reading in Shmos and Vayera, where we're becoming a nation and we're going out, Shema Yisrael, we're coming out of this Mitzrayim, out of these limitations. Parshas Bo is already the revelation of Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, of Hashem's name, and he starts to reveal and impact through the 10 plagues, start to remove all those limitations, remove all the blockages, remove all the dirt and damage that was done in creation at that time through those 10 plagues, and then reveal in its way a tremendous path of us, Derech Yam, how to go through the Yam, how to go through the Meitza Yam, these limitations that are holding us back in this Yam, and how to go through these restrictions, through these limitations, find a path through, as we were able to get Nissim Black to NCSY that previous Shabbos, and we're hopefully going to bring him again this coming week. Even we got permission, even though we need permission because now it's gone from red to orange. And it's interesting that the timing of the change of the status of America and the UK and other places was during these parshas, as we're going out of our limitations. So do the limitations lessen. And even though there's still a fear, like we're seeing people are scared right now still of these variants, but just like the Yidden, the Jews were scared at the Yam Suf. They were scared as they're about to go through the river, the Yam, this big pool of water, as behind them they had the Mitzvim, they had this corona variant heading towards them, and all the media and all the fear mongers and all the government rules that aren't necessary anymore, and they're coming towards a person and they're making him scared and worried what's going to be in my making a living. How am I going to get my kids to school if there's limitations? How am I going to function emotionally and spiritually if I don't have enough panas, I don't have enough income, I don't have enough emotional wherewithal to deal with all this on a daily level? And people are telling me day after day, I'm getting messages at how difficult it's getting there. As the Rav mentioned yesterday, the idea that people want Mashiach so much, they want revelation, they want to find their soulmate, they want to get out of their difficulties, they're feeling crazy, and they feel that Mashiach can be the only path out, and it truly is ultimately. But the real reality is that the Mashiach has, as we already mentioned, a light that's coming into the world right now, the Or Chozer. There's a light that's coming from these days of the future, influencing the now. As we mentioned last week's past, the mindful awareness, having that awareness now, not just what's going to be in the future, but to draw that light, that energy, that Shabbat Shira, to bring the light of the future into the now. Bring what's going to be, the Tu B'Shvat that's coming next week, the fruits, the awakening of the worlds as the wax goes up the trees and life starts to come back into creation as we revitalize in a revealed sense. Right now it's all been hidden in the winter form, and all the hiddenness and all the restrictions, all the limitations. But suddenly we break out of those limitations, and suddenly the life force comes back into creation, and we start to go forward into receiving the Torah, Parshas Yisro, the coming next Parsha, and the Parshas Mishpatim, and that's the Osius of Shovivim. This is these weeks of Shovivim that we're going away from the restriction to reveal Hashem's light in the world on a revealed level through the Torah Kadosha, through miracles, through the Shira, through the song, through becoming one nation, Levachad, Eshachad, Ishachad, Levachad, become one heart, one body. This is the energy that's in this Parshas, and it gives us power to fix things, to fix up pagamim, blemishes, like we have with the bris. Right now there's such a force trying to make us give up on a certain level that we have holiness and we have energy and just to escape, but we have to hold back. We have to restrain that need to escape and realize that really we can find the solutions within. We have the power within. We have the energy. We have the teachings. We have the Torah Kadosh. We have all the light of Emuna. We have the light of song and soul that to energize us, to give us the power to not escape ourselves and not to, God forbid, just waste seed or waste energy or waste time with all these different Netflix and other things that are out there. It's a big temptation. Myself, I'm very into documentaries and music, so I was following something to do with Dr. Dre. I don't know if you guys heard of him. He's old school maybe, but he's new school now as well, because he's one of the few that went through the whole process and still seems to be on a successful level, like Snoop as well, and other big people in hip hop who managed to get through all those years of difficulty. God forbid, a lot of them were passed away, but the concept of Dr. Dre I wanted to bring out, is that when he had this strength, he had the ability to keep going. And that's something we have to understand, that we're being challenged right now. We can learn from everyone. What was one of the important lessons we get from Shira on the Yam when we sang the song? We also get a tremendous chizuk and strengthening of Azaz to Gedusha, of tremendous, powerful light, of having that inner ozcha, the inner oz, this inner strength, as it talks about in the Shira, and we sing about it in the Shira. This Azaz to Gedusha that's within us, this powerful chutzpah, as they call it, this energy within that gives us a strength, no matter what's going on in our life, to go ahead and to be able to transform this world of darkness into a world of light. Now, I know I took an example, say, from a famous musician, Dr. Dre, but he kept going, even with all the madness of the industry and all the rip-off artists, and God forbid, Hashem should forgive all those Jews that took advantage of people in the music business. And please God, I'm in the music business, and I know my family in the music business, they never did such a thing, hopefully, to any artists or musicians, only to work in a straight way and to always make sure that the artists and the musicians, like with Unity Bookings, my own bookings company, always make sure that the artist gets paid fully, like Nissan Black and all the other wonderful artists. I want to book for Yosef Daniel, and I have connection with them, and I'm hoping that things will open up with more opportunities. Yoni Kabali would give him opportunities. You guys can reach out, make it happen. If you have a community and you want a musician, I have plenty of them, and they're all connected, thank God, to what we're doing here with Emuna Music and Emuna Tour. We want to bring this global, just like we want to bring Rav Orish. We want to bring him to LA. We want to bring him to Arizona. We want him to the UK. We need the strength from you guys, because I have the strength. I'm able to organize it, thank God. I have the logistical ability with the Rav, with the Rabbani, and with the group, the team here to make a tour happen. But it needs strength from the community to not be afraid, to not worry about the current seemingly scary moments approaching in all different ways. People are worried financially, people are worried with the new variants and the new rules and the new political situations and the general global situation. People are worried, and there is definitely stuff going on. But the point is, we have to have the strength to do our mission, and have the strength to create situations where as a people we can join together practically in a real way. Like I said, I'm going to keep praying. I'm going to keep doing my personal work. I know on a spiritual level, we're all souls united. But the reality is that we have a tremendous responsibility also to make opportunities. Like when I went on tour recently, Hanukkah, with Nissan Black, and we did a Chabad events, there was such inspiration for the community. And it's the people, I'm still feeling it, just sitting here right now, the energy from the show and the love and the connection and the music can create tremendous oneness and give us inspiration to want to serve Hashem. And it's to not underestimate the power of the soul to bring everything to an elevated level. The Nissan Black, for example, can take hip-hop and bring it to a spiritual place. I was speaking to one of his good friends today. We have the ability to hopefully elevate that genre of music in a real way, and as we can bring it to Kedusha, the Ozcha Navei Kochecha, with the Azaz to Kedusha. And this is the idea that we have to have this strong, intense belief in ourselves, an intense emuna, that we know we can do our mission no matter what. And that in the coming weeks, please God, people will reach out and we'll have opportunities to be able to make events together and to make, thank God, bookings together, to be able to get Shlomi Zion, another speaker, someone who's going out there. I want to help him get even more global, to bring more unity vibes. He's very unifying in the way he speaks with people and his message. This is the kind of vibe we need to have in what we're doing. And this is the vibe, the energy that Rav Orish is teaching us. He's teaching us tools, how to pray and to want Avos Yisrael, to want more love amongst people, to want more clarity, to more truth, to be able to not be constantly distracted by all the news and all the negativity that seems to be out there, to bring Chadashot Besoros Tovas, the news that brings us good news. That's Shvat. Shvat is a time of Shanas Besoros Tovas, it's a time of bringing down good news. And that's Tafshin Pei Base. This year is a time to use our mouth in a way, Shovivim, to use the mouth in a way that brings Kedusha, the big Dalet of the Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. This big Dalet is the idea of Dibor, of using the mouth to bring Malchus Shemayim in the whole world, to use it to sing out. That it says by Moshe Wilson book down in Midrashim, that when Mashiach comes, we're not going to say hello to people. We're not just going to say, how you doing? We're going to sing. We're going to sing and we're going to praise Hashem, that really we should be in a level where our soul is pouring forth this constant song. Like David HaMelech, he was Anim Zmiris Yisrael. He was constantly singing, constantly composing songs. Everything of his life became Tehillim, became psalms, became songs of praise to Hashem. That every breath became a song to praise to Hashem. I was just reading Rav Victor Miller's beautiful Kuntrasim, and sometimes they're a little bit controversial, but majority of it, thank God, is just filled with chizuk and inspiration, of positive way of how to think. And he was talking about the power of breathing. We know this from thank God, from many movements nowadays, popular movements, the idea of breathing, all these apps and things, breathing and meditation, internalization, appreciating our breath, appreciating the life force that goes within us, the gift of life for a breath, to appreciate that through our mouth and nose we're breathing, and to use these tools to praise Hashem, not to use it, God forbid, to create a weakening. We're here about, honestly, like I've been a little bit strong with some people today, but my kavana, my intention was not, God forbid, to put people down, but to get people moving in a positive direction. Sometimes it needs a little bit of chutzpah, a little bit of energy. Azcha, but we're obviously not in a way that makes people feel less, but in a way that pushes people up, that we have to get functioning, we have to get moving. It's not enough, the standard that we're doing right now, for example, in Brez of Israel, we have to get the level up a notch, so that people out there can connect to the content in a way they feel that it's coming over right. And if you have feedback, please give it, because we want to fix things. I don't want to stay back behind of whatever was in the past. I want to go ahead. As we mentioned, someone mentioned very wisely after the Chabad show in Essex, it was a big, big success with Nissan Black. He said, now it's about the next show. There's no point, you can't rest on the show that just was. We have to now get ready and prepare for the next song. And that's all the mindset that we're trying to build in this class, that we're building a mindset of a shir la'asid, of az yoshir, that we have the power. Then we will sing this song of the future. But the future has to be brought down. Every day we say Az Yosheh. To bring it down into everyday Shachris. To bring it down into Shabbat Shira. To bring it down into Pesach coming up. To prepare ourselves with Shovivim is a perfect preparation for the days of Pesach. That 7-day festival is given. We get weeks of Parsha, of Torah, to get into the Inyanim, to learn it, to understand what does it mean to go out of our restraints, to go out of Mitzrayim, and to become a people of soul. And to same every day, to wake up with song and to become a day of soul, to bring it into our day, to bring it into our week with Shabbos, to sing on Shabbos. Shabbos Miris, the Rabbi Nachman was makpid. It was the only time I ever saw in all his svarim that he was makpid. He was strict. And it never says that he was a machmir or anything like that. He was strict that people should sing the songs of Shabbos Miris. On Shabbos, we have to sing. We have to let our soul come forth. Bring out the souls of our children. These are things I need to work on myself. I'm not just saying this like because I'm holding and I'm this big tzaddik, God forbid. Halavai, I should be a big tzaddik, but I'm not saying it in an arrogant in a way of putting down. That's what I say God forbid about. I'm saying it in a way that I'm with you on this challenge, that it's a challenge for me also, and we have to together develop the energy to sing together, to learn together, to keep those spiritual concepts real. Now, thank God we have so much content of Emuna classes, now 55 classes, we've got a 56, possibly we're going to have Menachem Herman come, another band from Shefa, from Sfat, they want to come, a special friend, a new friend, Yosef Aaron mentioned, Yosef Aaron's class, thank God was very successful, and we want to keep getting the energy, the momentum going while we're in Yerushalayim before we go to Chutzlaritz, where we go travel to LA or London. We want to keep these Emuna classes at a good level with good guests and good translations. And the Rav, thank God, putting out the Emuna questions. We need to have more questions. You need to send in more questions. Every week I got 3 or 4 or 5. Sometimes there's a lot. The last few weeks it's just been enough. I would personally like to go into the class with tens of questions and then not be able to answer them all, knowing because people are there they're thirsty for the words of the Rav. They're thirsty for the words of a tzaddik that's alive right now. Don't miss this opportunity. The Moshe of Rabbeinu of our generation is sitting in the studio, Rav Shalom Morish, and he's connected to the Moshe Rabbeinu of all the tzaddikim, all the generations before. Rabbi Nachman all the way through the Baal Shem. And if you're Chabad, thank God you have Y.W. Jacobson, which path ever you're getting your Moshe Rabbeinu, whatever that is. But the concept of tzaddik of the generation is within all these tzaddikim and these mashpiyim and these special speakers. Join together with them and intensify their message, get that message more clear, and you become a shliach of that message, an agent of that message. Right now we're about to head to Yud Shvat. Yud Shvat is the passing of the Frierdiker Rebbe Zichron Leinu. And he was someone who, thank God, was a big shliach from Hashem to prepare the world for his son-in-law's work of Chabad and all the kiruv rechokim and all the outreach, and the fact that I'm sitting here Shomer Torah Mitzvahs probably is a big part of the Riat, and then the new Rebbe who became the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Menachem Mendel Schneerson, and also Yud Shvat a year later, and we have that awe of these righteous people, this continuation, and everyone in the world knows that they've affected and impacted more than any other tzaddik or rabbi in a practical way, and we know that everyone can learn from it and grow from it and just be modeh to the emes. Be honest that thank God there are righteous people who have impacted the world and made this world a more holy place. So you can travel any of the world and get kashrut. You can go online and see so much presence of Torah. Chabad were leading that movement of the Torah online. The Rebbe was always a step ahead in terms of bringing spirituality into everything, into music, into every kind of experience. So the magazine world, he was always on a higher level, getting the visual message of Hashem Yisbarach into all the different parts of Jewish lifestyle. And that was the idea that we can bring Yiddishkeit, bring Torah alive. Torah is Chaim. It should impact our life and should cause us to sing with joy. That it's such a gift. Ashrena Matov Chalkeinu. He gives us his Torah that should bring us to song every day, that we get the opportunity to learn Torah, to daven, to pray, to have a soul, to do kindness, to be empathetic, to realize that there's so much challenges right now, and we could be, thank God, a place for warmth and love and joy. I wish everyone a beautiful rest of the week. Everyone should be zocher to this final song, to understand that we all have a part to play in this ultimate song. All the beautiful music. There's a movie right now out called Sing 2. It's just a little ma'ain, a little taste of the idea that you take a U2 song, yeah, and you feel, wow, the energy, and everyone's singing, everyone's together. That's just a little glimpse of what's going to be like. Or Live Aid. My family were part of Live Aid. They put on Live Aid in 1985. They promoted it, Goldsmith, I'm Goldsmith. And I was in the Royal Box watching it as a kid. And I saw the energy of people joining together. That was 35 or something years ago. Now, I was talking, they just did a revival sort of event online. Work it out, 37 years ago. So in 40 years, yeah, from then, it will be 2025. That would be an unbelievable opportunity to make it up. But why wait till then? We have a journey right now to bring out the soul of the Asid, this final song that will bring us those images of unity that we see in these events, Lahavdil, but to bring it alive through the soul, through the spirituality, that we want to see that unification of the world through song. It's my dream, my vision, my ultimate vision, or my book, United Souls, my course, my classes, what I'm doing here with Rav Orish is to bring out the unity inspires projects, bring out the unity souls in everything. That's the concept of unity books. I want to bring unity into the world, into all the different parts, that we should all unify together. And there's so many, thank God, people who are aware of this. Jordan Peterson, for example, was talking about this unity concept, that everything that's driving his search now is for this unification. And in science, they're always looking for the unifying theory. We have it within us. Let's bring it out. Let's bring this Shabbat Shira so we can join together as people and everyone find their part in the orchestra of Hashem Yisbrach, the whole world, and sing this song united. It's not something that's just a fantasy. It will be coming very, very soon, and we have to prepare ourselves l'chadodi every week, prepare ourselves for the ultimate Yom Shekulu Shabbos. Nizmo Shir the Yom Shabbos. We'll be singing that ultimate song. Thank you again for joining us. Share this class and global. Join our campaigns. We have a Tu B'Shvat campaign. Join the Rav. Join the energy of praying with devotion for all of the people of the world to really multiply in billions and billions of levels of mitzvahs and love and connection till it overwhelms all the darkness out there and all the restrictions go away so we can join together as Yosher and sing the ultimate final song. Amen.